I never noticed I like
Big voice either. Thank
that's
you.
good. Yeah. She said
So-
Velveeta.
Velveeta, that makes way more sense. It makes way more sense. This is the first like in-person 22 panels recording. I am at the Lion's Tooth bookshop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with Chris and Shelley and Emil Ferris and
I'm Riley.
Jennifer.
And I'm Kurt.
Kurt Devine. And
I'm Shelley.
and you're Shelley.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, well, of course you are.
Are you gonna like down here? Are you having a book?
I saw that and I was like, oh.
So you guys have been talking for the last hour already, so you should be able to talk to her first. I got to
I'm happy to ask a question. As a relative newcomer to like comics and graphic novels, I'm super interested in hearing kind of what this process is and like the story comes first or the illustration or like how did it all it's because it's a huge work, right? And I'm just super interested to hear how it got started and came to be.
That's probably the best question in the world, and it's the hardest one to answer because I think it becomes a synthesis occurs, or it becomes a synthesis. So you might begin with an idea of what you want to talk about, or where you want your characters kind of end up, or revelations you want them to have. But the drawings, as they're done, they add an unspoken set of information that you then have to deal with and interpret into the text. A lot of people think, and I'm sure a lot of folks write the whole story out, God bless them. I wish I was them. It's an easier way to work. I don't do that. I let the drawings tell me things, and they frequently tell me things that change the story dramatically.
So that even burned my follow-up question because I was going to ask you about that. And I'll work my follow-up question accordingly. I mean, for a lot of people who read tons of comics, one of the ways that my favorite things monsters stand out is you don't really do panels. We certainly don't do panels often. You have a much more flowing style. It totally fits the motif of being Karen's journal, but from a creative standpoint, how do you put that together seems like a much. I mean, you just answered that you don't script and that pictures will sometimes take you. Do you wind up working in order? Do you sometimes wind up reordering things? Do you do thumbnails? Do you do whole pages? Are there whole pages of stuff that you went, yeah, I don't like that direction, hold them out?
Unfortunately, yeah, there's things that are orphaned because they didn't end up, as Kurt knows, if he's seen the process, they didn't end up living in this environment comfortably. Or Karen just said, no, it's like, I'm not ever going to do that. Well, you thought you'd make me do that, but I never did. And I can't draw her when she's not on board. She just sort of says, that's dumb. And that's how it ends. So sometimes I'll put the whole book together, as has happened in now a couple of times, and I'll look at the fact that something doesn't unite to something else, and I'll create a bridge. But generally, it's really organic the way that it happens. For instance, right now I'm working on something, and I'm referencing a painting that we actually went to the Prado to view because I love the Prado. I mean, I was thinking, geez, you need to find a $300 a month apartment so you can spend a month just going to the Prado every day. But
one of those things like the Mona Lisa, you can't get close to the
no, it's very frustrating.
Gardner Blue delight.
Oh, you have
Oh my!
right around the
Wow.
box.
Yeah.
And I'm
And it's such a detail.
Yes.
Being having to be aware
there are secrets
Mhm.
in the painting that I've discovered, and I don't know if anybody else has ever discovered these things. There are there's visual poetry and hidden visual images that if you draw lines, you will see. It's really interesting. So I was drawing the Garden of Earthly Delights because we've been at the Prado and I saw a number of these things and they changed the story because I realized at the moment that I saw them, Karen already knew they was there because Karen's the part of me that is so much more alive because she's a kid. She's magical still. And when I discovered them, she was like, see what I mean? And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because when I started drawing this, she said to me, there's way more in this than you even realize. And I was like, well, I mean, I know it's weird, but she's like, no. And so it's that. It's that she's alive and she says, look more carefully. And then I find something. And what I found is kind of mind-blowing. It's fun. Yeah.
Are you gonna incorporate that in the new work?
It's coming in a book that's gonna come out with Pantheon
Nice.
in whenever.
But the secret is
When
gonna
it's
be
done.
incorporated. Now I wanna know.
Hopefully less than 7 years this time.
Well, that's the whole. I think so. I mean, I'm really kind of close on it. But you know,
I kid. I
you know,
kid.
you can
You're
feel
almost
it.
500 pages.
No, I'm more than that, but I'm much more than that. But
We've been hunting for images that won't be used in other.
yeah,
That's rejected images.
yeah.
So we've been kind of combing.
There's so much because I've been working on this book and I didn't realize it. I've been working on Karen before you pick up book one. And I just didn't use any of that because some of those are memories of her, things she remembered. And now they can go into this book and it'll be fun.
So you're staying with Karen, because that
Oh, yeah.
was one of our questions.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Karen's, there's a lot more Karen to come.
Okay.
There's things you don't know and
We're-
she has to become horrible.
We're,
It's all
we're,
of us.
we're an audio podcast, so I want to tell the listeners that Chris Cicada there did a little dance in her chair.
It's really interesting because we had a book club, it started as a lot of authors book club. And we talked to the Hernandez brothers and
Oh,
Jaime Hernandez said something about trying to make the character do something or Maggie do something, and they have a mind of their own. They're both kind of express
Yeah,
that
Gilbert
same
talks about
thing.
that too. It goes with the character statement.
yeah. And they're great people. And I
Yes.
like Carol too.
Oh, yeah.
A fantastic human. Yeah.
We have a original by Natalia.
Oh, do you
In
really?
that, yeah, I'll show you. It's like the first one that Natalia ever. So. So. Out of it.
Very good.
I think commercially, actually.
Random.
Grades in the story. I just looking on the back, it says that you had studied there, but I was just curious, like, what is your relationship like with the Art Institute? And it's a little personal for me just because when I first moved to the Midwest, being close to Chicago was like the coolest thing about living in Milwaukee. And it's one of those things where, I just when I had way less money, I would use my EBT card to go in there for free. And I was always like, I can always go in here for free. And yeah. Yeah. And so, but it sounds like you have a really specific way of viewing paintings and how that influences your work. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about the Art Institute.
Well, I mean, it's my first love. Like they're always pretty romantic about your first love. But, and I've since had all these other museums. So, and they're really cool. I love them very much. But, I mean, I don't talk about other museums when I'm in other museums, as in any relationship. You don't do that. It's not good,
Right.
build solid foundation.
You never want that museum to outcome museums and stuff.
Yeah.
Precise.
Are you seeing other?
Yeah.
Right now?
And I always say no.
Are you sure
Um,
you had art there?
never.
I'm seeing pages.
Either way.
It was the only part that
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to take pictures of, because they hadn't been published yet.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
it's true. And it was very outer. It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It wasn't as big as I wish it were, but you know, you can only go so big and.
And you get one of the longer. You've seen some of the things they put together?
Hmm.
Oh my God. They
But
like,
at Angoulême?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they like, they like build the entire comic.
Yeah.
That day will come.
Well, I think
You have,
Oh, yeah.
but I mean, like a big exhibit.
Yeah, no, you need to get them to build Karen's apart. They would.
Whoa.
I mean,
For the land.
yeah,
Yeah.
both.
That should be a goal for the next.
Yeah, I mean-
Well, you're really speaking. You really, because I already, I already liked the Mona Lisa. So I really feel, I like to say that, but I didn't really do that.
Did you know that the Louvre will give, at least they used to, like 1 month residencies,
I did it.
like shown it, you did it?
Oh, wow.
The music then?
Yeah.
So cool.
So where's your Louvre come?
Oh, I know.
I thought, well, but I thought that was what they did. Is you had to make a comment,
I can't explain it because it would.
violate NDAs.
No,
Okay.
exactly. But there was an issue.
Okay.
I can't say
Fair,
that.
fair.
But I'm going back in April to finish what it is that I started.
Okay. So we will get to see it one day.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are some of my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Cats of the Louvre, and I can't even remember all.
I've never.
Yeah,
There's
a-
like, I don't know why. I didn't
There's a
know that
whole
but
line
like,
of comics where they give cartoonists. It's Karen Green that told me about this.
Mhm.
They give cartoonists after hours access to look at anything. They'll bring anything in for them to look at if it's not on display right now. As long as they produce a comic that involves some of their artwork.
Because we've had the cats of the.
Yeah, I can't say what happened there, but I was there and I did the whole residency.
Wow.
Anyway,
Well, as long as we get to see it someday.
Yeah.
And if they don't,
And it
as
won't
long
be
as we can
published by
become
the-
buddies and you can just show it to me, whatever.
It won't be published by the- but it will come out.
Okay.
It will be. Because I love the Louvre. I mean, I love it. Like, we had the trip planned in April. Because I'll be at the Paris Book Fair and then afterwards do a bunch of things.
It's always kind of a battle because cars auction and.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of places he was doing.
Right.
Yeah,
We managed in Madrid, but tack something on for the end of it.
yeah, so we could be at the products. And we've done the same so we could get the Louvre. Yeah, no, I'm.
But they always try to. It fits in.
Oh, I know,
Mhm.
like, but there's just one journalist, like,
It'll take 5 minutes.
it never does. But,
Clearly not doing this.
not like this.
I want way more
No.
than 5 minutes.
We'll get some- I just think the Art Institute, I get you about it, and I think that the one thing that makes me laugh is that after the book came out, yeah, they had it in their gift shop.
Oh, did they?
They did. But what was interesting to me is that the Saint Geordie, the George and the Dragon at
Yeah.
the beginning of the book, it used to be normal height. It used
Yeah.
to be at a normal height. But after the book came out, they put it up about 14 feet.
Oh, really? So people wouldn't try to walk into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's,
Oh,
and they wouldn't have asked, but nobody's ever told me the truth on that, but I usually.
My first.
No.
My second copy I bought from you because I forgot to bring the first copy to Kate. So then I have a lender copy and
I think
copy
it's a-
that you scribbled in.
It's a great touch.
Which is interesting, sounds just saying how your book fit into my dreams. Like when I read them at night,
That's
like
really nice.
kind of like walking into the painting, you know what I mean? Like your
I'm
words and
really
drawings.
It's an enormous compliment. I dreams are so important to me.
Mm.
In the last 40 days, my dreams have all been horrid.
Mm.
But despite that fact, I love dreams and I really appreciate that happens, that you take the dream. Because I think that dreams are so important. That's the soul of the world.
Mm.
And as you know, I took Karen's dreams into the book. I'm working on a dream right now, so yeah. I'm glad that happens. What paintings? Were there any paintings that you've drawn?
I think like the story about there's a drawing you had with the magic fish in the hand.
Oh yeah.
And like I don't know why, but that night I just had dreams like of the magic fish and just following me around in Chicago. And like,
Wow, that's cool. I didn't feel that dream from you. Cool idea. I would love it if a magic fish followed me around. I love that. Yeah.
But my question though is there's like how deep you get involved in the story. And I feel like there's so many loose ends. And I know that there's another book. So I don't want to make spoilers because as soon as it comes out, I will be reading it and pushing it on everybody. But are those
Loose ends, definitely.
Okay, good.
You're not going to be wondering. Okay, it's just that the books are 400 pages, and
Yeah.
this was the second. My favorite thing is Monsters have ended, but Karen is not in. That's what I like to say. So there will be other books. And that's how it'll go. It just wasn't enough room.
Mhm.
I mean, it starts to break the binding when you get to 500-600 pages.
Yeah.
That's the part you can too.
Yeah, right.
You were close to 600
Yeah.
on the first book. And then
But it is
really and shoot that one down.
Well, the first book, oh, that was complicated because it had to be different than it was. It was never the right way.
Mm.
And like I say, it's your muse. Your muse tells you what has to happen. I mean, my muse is Karen, of course. So she tells me when something's wrong. And so much was wrong, but it had to be changed. And so I'm really glad this is out. Because somebody goes through what she wanted.
And do you feel that now you found the style and the system on how to do it? Because I'm like after having made the first one and the second one, or every time it's like reinventing the wheel again.
There's so much reinvention of the wheel because I'm stupid. It comes down to that. No, I really am. I forget like everything. Like he knows. I'm like, oh wow, I already did this whole part. I just thought I dreamt it. I mean, that's how dumb I can be. And it's like I come across it and I'm like, oh, this is a bonus. I already drew all this. And he's like, yeah, I kind of told you did. And I was like, I didn't believe you because I'm just like that.
It's the intelligence and memory of the different things.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just make that clear. Because otherwise people are gonna start expecting me to memorize things.
All right. I got you.
Bodies do something too. Menopause.
Oh yeah, we're both in the fall right now.
Are you
Trying to do something to help us.
I know, yeah.
Completely forget.
what? Oh, have you ever done that? Or gosh, there's so many good things that
Yeah, no, it's because
oh,
Yeah.
it makes a big difference.
Guys know to
Yeah. They don't have a tea for you. They'll have a tea for you that will make everything good. They just really do. He had some problems with his foot that were so serious. They had to cancel.
I thought you were about to say people and people they've had in the past.
It's so bad that if I see this, I'll get in a terrible lot of trouble. So I'm not going to say that. But anyway, he had a terrible menopause. But yeah, it was bad.
He's a man and he has.
Oh, yeah, right. And then, no, he had osteomyelitis. And then we treated it with comfrey and flipperone instead of amputation, which was the other option.
oh man.
And amputation was to be avoided when possible.
Right. Because we learned, yeah, what we learned is that 70% of the people who go through an amputation actually die within 5 years. Because, yeah, and it's not something a lot of people know, but tampering with the biomechanical integrity of something as important as your foot is it changes the way your whole body operates. So we have to look, I think even in medicine right now, they're recognizing how, multi-drug resistance and all of the ways that they actually treat diabetics are inadequate to help them. And there are really forward-thinking people now doing studies about such things as essential oils, which is how
You're a medical researcher, is a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. And I'm sad to say that some folks don't think it's a good idea. But
I'm sorry. I
compelling.
recently read about the Johns Hopkins grant money going away and massive layoffs. So, autistic brain,
it's
remember?
very, it's painful to think of that. It's painful to extrapolate what that might mean for people in the future.
Well, thinking, we've been talking so much about the inner life, talking about like Shelley's dream and the loose ends. One of the things that we were discussing is that a lot of things in the book are dubious in terms of what, did this really happen? Is this in Karen's mind? Is this the way that she sees things? I guess my question is, how much do you know of what is real or concrete, I should say, because everything is real, but like what is concrete and what are the imagined parts or, or ghostly, because like that's a message. Riley said a very funny thing that Shelley was ghost coded because she had the thing on top.
The mom, yeah.
Karen's
mom.
Oh, yeah, Karen's mom, yeah.
Well, because we were trying to figure out what monster everyone was. And I said, I don't know if Karen's mom was a monster. And then I did find the page where she appeared as a very ghostly apparition with a big white cloth over her. And so I was like, oh, wait, no, her monster is
And that was
ghost.
a little bit like a thing too.
Like it's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely.
I totally ran that conversation.
No, it's a good-
If anything, what it amounts to hillbilly ancestry, which you're not supposed to say the word hillbilly, but it's definitely mountain person. Ancestry is in New Mexico and pretty much the ghost. In New Mexico, we're really superstitious. And we live with kind of tempeh art, which is like skeletons driving a married couple who are also skeletons. It's just like everything should be kind of dark but hilarious.
Yeah.
And so Mama can be that, and she really does draw. I draw from that part of me, the knowledge, the things she says are the things that I grew up hearing. Compel or high water, those kinds of saying, and that kind of mentality, and the superstition of it, but also the kind of almost that part of the world is famous for a kind of intense superstitious Catholicism that I absolutely love. Really enjoy it. The last one, and I just
You're going to love.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm gonna love it. I'm not gonna be like, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a different paradigm. It's like Afro, synchronized.
She's also upset that she didn't get to translate these into Portuguese. So
I did
if she can
again.
if she can translate the next one, it's really
Yeah,
nice.
I did work for Compañía das Letras once only, but it was just like it was a Del Taco book, and I was just like revising that one. I submitted the other one, the footnotes in Gaza. They call it, it's like a check. It's a different translator, and you don't know who translated it, and you do a check. I don't know how it is here.
We have to talk, because that would be an awesome.
Yeah.
It's to know.
Oh, but I get, you have a great translator.
I know I do.
Yeah, and a great letter.
Who knows? Because they may be busy at some point when I wish somebody would do something small. They all have things, but they're great. They are great and so great as well. Have you ever seen the movie Bazante?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, that might be one of my favorite movies. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie. Yeah. I think Kurt and I we saw it at the Music Box in Chicago. It's a movie very much that approaches the whole terrible slavery experience in Brazil.
Yes.
But in a really beautiful and emotional way, because it also talks about feminism or the lack of it in this period of time. And we sat afterwards, it's stunned, because it's the most stunning movie. And it's spelled Vazance, and I would strongly recommend you find it and watch it and cry and eat,
What? Brazilian crime?
Yeah, right. And do a little emotional eating afterwards.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Brazil.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. There's a lot of superstition too, but like in a very real. But what I say usually, like in Brazil, the invisible world is part of the daily routine, as opposed to in America where it's like you don't feel that it's there all the time because everybody's getting,
Right, which has got to be frustrating for those. I just, I mean, when they communicate, they'll be like, I'm in Quebec, it's cool. Oh, you're lucky. I'm here.
When they learn to make a bomb, you'll receive it.
I like that. That'd be a great teacher.
They're not,
Learn to make a box.
they're not productive enough.
I like that a lot.
I mean, I don't know. I like it, but I feel like it's accurate.
Yeah, and I don't think I answered your question.
Yeah, so like, how much do you know about what is in Karen's mind and what is real, and because some things are dubious to us, like we find out later that it's a ghost, or like, do you, as an author, do you know everything, or there's things that you always
This man is the reason that that book, the one underneath, came out. Because I came to the point where I was supposed to finish with it, and I couldn't. I didn't know why. I didn't know why I was stuck. And I was really emotional and really depressed and a little bit crazy. And I couldn't figure out why. And he finally said to me, well, what point are you at in the book? What is the last thing that's lacking? And it was the stuff, it was the last part. And I'm blanking on my own character.
The ghost world with the gumbo machine.
Yeah, like Sandy, thank you. And there's a reason why this is happening to me. Because I actually knew that child and I believe she died. She starved to death. And it was so upsetting to me when I told him about that. Because I did. It really happened. I bought her the gumball machine and she ate all the gumballs. And I didn't realize as a child that she was starving. And I told my mother at the time, who could not wrap her mind around the fact, despite the fact that she came from a difficult place, she couldn't really wrap her mind around the fact that we had abusement things. But her parents were in the book. I have no parents in the lawn chairs, but there were people there. They were just alcoholic. And they were serious alcoholic. And they were Appalachian. And she died. And I was so upset about it that I literally couldn't finish the book. And I've been upset about it all my life. And it's formed part of the reason why I put her there. And I talk about it. And I talk about child hunger, and especially now. I think it's the reason I'm very depressed right now, because we've just had major cuts to a program that allowed farms to, a farm to table experience for schools. And this was a really important way for kids who were poor. I was, until I was 7 years old, very poor. My father got a better job, but until that time, I had the white spots on my nails from not getting in a house. We were lucky when we had hot dogs for dinner. That was a good thing. I didn't go on the field trips because my parents had no money. They didn't have the 69 cents, so I stayed behind in the class line. And they were poor. The other kids were poor too, but I was that much poorer that I was with a Native American kid, and the Native American kid drew because his parents were alcoholics and mine were artists, which, okay, I'll let you draw your conclusions. But as we know, being an artist, we know we can tend to be poor. And it upsets me so much that right at a point when this administration is talking about making America healthy again, they're cutting programs that actually stand a chance of positively impacting children. Really stupid, not what we want, has to be changed, cannot stand. If this is what this administration is saying that they're going to do, God bless them, then they need to actually do it. And they need to put that program back in place and probably maybe take a teeny amount from the many billionaires whose tax cuts they want and give it to the children so that they have more. And
I'm going to take a step further. You can make a big amount from the tax cuts going to the billionaires. Doesn't need to be teeny. Go ahead and make it big. They'll still be billionaires.
Yeah, right.
The whole thing is to subsidize those cuts.
Right.
And they don't
I
even
mean-
make a secret of it.
No,
But I think it's amazing how they go for so many things, like that's the thing that touches you, and then they have like the trans youth and something that touches, that, you know, like, they're going
One of
for,
my
and
favorite
everybody's
phrases
having their-
in Washington is every billionaire represents a policy failure.
But weren't Sandy's parents union organizers too? I believe it said in the first book.
well, there's that, they're not there,
Right.
which is what you get from that.
Yeah.
I don't think that what I saw, and there are some very good books out there about uptown Chicago during the 1960s. And one of the things that happened in uptown Chicago, which I think is very beautiful, is that white Appalachian people combined their strength and they became this powerful force to battle the city and the landlords and schools and kind of this whole structure that was very, antithetical to their advancement, that had opposed them in these really stupid ways, like not having hot water in their home, not having, and black folks did the same thing. But what they did was that. And the folks that I remember seeing in my friends' home apartments kitchen probably weren't organizers, but what I will say is that after doing research, because I grew up with so many kids who were part of the migration of Appalachian people from the South.
Yeah.
And what I realized is that they were defeated. Their parents had been utterly and totally defeated by these mining companies and other forms of companies where they were just so broken. I mean, when people make it so that you can't feed your children and you see your children getting thinner and thinner and needing more and more, they break your soul. They break your spirit. And they do it intentionally. And I think this is what happened to so many people. And they fled. I mean, and rightfully so, they said, we can't survive here. We will die here. Or we will become something we don't want to be. And for a brief time, I considered moving to a community in Kansas. It was a very small town. I had friends that had moved and asking me to go. And I looked at the town and I realized that I could have found a place there. It probably would have been teaching art to the children of meth creators and dealers. And many of these children were drug exposed in the womb, and they were malnourished. Despite the fact that their parents had money, there was so much damage that they were very much like my friend Sandy. They were being taken care of by people who couldn't really take care of them. So, I mean, this is just like, we're just talking about the underbelly of America and how broken it actually is. And good Lord in heaven, do I ever wish there was somebody who really freaking cared about it in the government. Boy, do I wish that was
I'm gonna actually manage to spin that into one of the hopeful points of the bigger than this monster. Because even in the summer of '68, where you showed us the riots in the park, or well, not the riots, the police beating people in the park. Let's call it what it is rather than what the history books call it.
Because I was there, and there really weren't riots.
No,
People
they were
climbed statues.
Yeah, no,
I mean, that's like
But-
not me.
But what you primarily shows is an integrated community. Are there problems? Absolutely. We've just gotten into those, but there's also like this. I mean, I used to sell this as, it's a murder mystery and a coming of age story set in uptown Chicago against the backdrop of 1968. And it's like the most integrated, diverse community. You've got Black people, you've got Hispanic people, you've got Italians, you've got Jewish people, and it's all mixed together. It's got a little bit of everything, and they live together, they work together, so on one side, you don't shy from the horror, but you also show, even in a historic sense, that when people actually get put next to each other, suddenly those barriers just kind of drop because we're people next to each other.
Right.
Um,
And the project is
Right.
separate the people.
and that's one of the senses where your book is something that contributes to making things.
I hope so.
Your book is something that reminds us that
Yeah. I hope so.
there are problems and they need to be, I mean, I'm an educator and as we were talking over dinner, I'm that big autistic mind that takes everything and folds it together in 16,000 different ways. God, I'm glad that we're not doing video right now because my arms are going all over the place. And there's a reason why comics get banned so much. It's twofold. It's first, the ones that are banned are things like drama, because, oh my God, there's a trans character, except that it's not about the trans character. And that's what makes it worse. It's just a character that prefers to be called they and is, and that's it. And then the book goes on and it's about a play. And the fact that it's normalized is what scares the shit out. What would scare the shit out of somebody who decided to read My Favorite Thing is Monsters and go, oh, I can't have this online. It wouldn't, I mean, they'd say it was the sex, just like they say that the reason that they banned Mouse is, oh my God, we've got his mother's breasts when she committed suicide. That's why they banned Mouse. But they didn't ban Mouse because they're oppressive. They banned Mouse because, oh my God, we don't want our kids to have to think about the Holocaust because then they might have to think that, like, Jews might not be bad.
Right.
So if you read this book, you might have to go, oh, wait, a white kid and a Hispanic kid can just be friends?
And
And they can be friends with a Black transvestite and
Right.
and that's okay. Well, but why aren't they talking about that rather than just being? But the ability to just have it be is in and of itself just an incredibly powerful message.
I love that you say that because I've actually never heard anybody say that like that one. I mean,
Well,
and
thank you.
I'm honest. I've never heard anybody say that, and I've been really depressed because I'm like, well,
I've been really depressed too, but I also make it my mission to make other people less depressed. So you can pick up the phone anytime you want. I'll find a way.
and the reason I'm depressed is my arrogance because I believe myself to be a witch. I mean, this is my stuff.
Yeah, it's a
And
good one.
well, I hope so. But I look at the world and I'm thinking,
Magic is sometimes slow.
okay, no, it's a good.
Magic is sometimes slow.
I like that. There's another good T-shirt.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And remember that there are also evil witches.
Well, you know you very well, but I love you even more. There are, and I happen to think they might have a lot more power than we think they would.
Some days, but not always. I mean, this is something, and we'll go into, I'm going to say it's history, but some people, well, not any of my listeners, because I'm pretty certain we scared off all the idiots already. What people always forget is that liberalism won for 80 years. From the New Deal through
Yeah,
the Great Society,
that big stupid weekend we did.
it won. And the billionaires fought it. It took them 80 years to get to Reagan.
Yeah,
And now we're going backwards a little bit. But that doesn't mean that we'll go
Maybe we're
backwards
not.
forever.
maybe we're not.
Going back to the Brazil thing, I grew up in a dictatorship
And there was a lot of censorship. The best songs, the best are all from that time
Mhm.
because people had to be creative to work around it. You know, because censorship is always they're not very bright on what they're, so people could like, so there's like songs in Portuguese that all the words mysteriously rhyme with ditadura, dictatorship. And they never understood that that was about the
I
dictatorship.
love that.
Yeah, so
I
that's
love
like,
that. That's like ability to rhyme is in the Venn diagram. It's not on the side of, it's not.
no, they can't,
I love
they
that.
can't take, they
Well,
can't
that's a
take
really important thing. To know.
abstract thought. So you're very literal, very like the fact that the mouse thing, like mouse being about nudity, you know, they're like it's a very literal, very and we're gonna, as artists, we're gonna learn how to take advantage of that, you know. And what I wanted to say about the dictatorship too is people had kids. People, it was brutal. It was much more brutal than what we're living
Oh, I
here
know.
right now.
I've
You
done a
know,
little research on
Yeah.
it. You grew up during.
I grew up doing
Oh.
that. Like my dad was like in hiding for years because of it, you know. So, but you know, I'm here. Like we just need to be like
And you're bearing witness. to that.
build this resilience in ourselves. You know, it's kind of like being an immigrant right now. Like he's talking about it.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna plug the book that I keep plugging over and over again. She's got a copy over here, because she
What is
ordered one
it?
ordered one for me and one for the store. Song of the Blackbird by Marie Van Lieshout
Hmm.
is a story of the resistance in Amsterdam, occupied Amsterdam.
Mm.
Specifically the art students who smuggled kids
Oh.
into adopted families
Mm.
rather than letting them be put on trains.
Oh, my
The
God.
art students who forged money and papers, and the art students who forged massive amounts of money to temporarily replace the massive amounts of real money that they were stealing.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 What a bunch of badasses. I
Right.
need to
Yeah.
read that book.
You know, so I mean that our
Song of the Blackbird.
Song of the Blackbird,
Mm.
Marie Van Lieshout, like I said, it's right over on the shelf here.
And for those people on there, it's not near you. You're
No, but
You actually get.
we
You have to walk
right,
with your long
right.
appendages.
right.
And then,
Well,
you know,
and we meant to talk
actually,
about it.
You just go to Amazon. I bet it's there.
Bookshop,
want-
bookshop.org, you can give money to Lions too.
But what we would prefer you do is walk with your long appendages and go to a shop that
Or
continues
again,
to
if
support.
you need to do it online, bookshop.org
Bookshop or.
gives money to
The bookshop of your choice.
the bookshop of your
Really?
choice, including Lions too. So like, if
There's a way around Amazon.
One of the beautiful things about walking into a bookstore though is
Mm.
how we push your book at everybody.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like,
No, it's so important because you find 20 more things.
Yeah.
It's why I.
Yeah, when I
stay
came in
away.
earlier, there was the girl checking out with like $120 worth of stuff. And
I always drop too much.
Shelley in absolutely anti-capitalist manner asked her if she wanted to be wrung out in a particular order in case she hit a certain point and wanted to stop.
She's right to do that.
She is, but it's completely
But
anti-capitalist.
I came in the workshop at that point. We were thinking about it and then we came here and this was one of the points that was like, okay, they've got actual bookshop. This is a point in favor of Milwaukee. And so many nice ones. And so we spent so much more money than we did. And it is exactly that. It's going and going, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. Oh, I want that.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the beautiful, I mean, we're going to pitch Lions Tooth for a minute. Lions Tooth is about the size of one of my classrooms, but it's a curated selection of books and comics.
Yeah.
So it's not just a bookshop, it's a reflection of Shelley and Chris. You know, if it's here, they're telling you to buy it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how you said you're a witch, you know what I mean? Like, we're kind of witches here, where we curate a selection that makes people think. And the books are like, why does that happen and what can I do about it? You know what I mean? Like, how can I help all of these big problems, like being too big to deal with themselves?
You know your book.
Yeah,
read them and they're not
Yeah.
actually just product.
yeah. And,
Well, I mean, except for yours.
but that, but there's that whole,
There's a stake in every book.
right. But there's the whole thing of coming back to stuff like this, the return of vinyl. We like, we have that entire selection that is all zines, it's like self-published magazines, people making their own comics. I think people are
Well, that's the
because
other
our
thing that I have to
attention is so
plug Lions
kidnapped
to.
by
for.
online,
Did you know that they teach comics classes during the summer?
Yeah, we have like a comic school. I'll show you the results. It's pretty much fun. Kids like, kids and teens.
I wouldn't mind coming and helping you something.
My God.
I would love it.
I'm here to teach me.
When you were talking about your experiences with your father and writing for you, thinking you should write.
Yeah, it's like, there's a great book, great movie that just got the Academy Award, that is based on a book that has not been translated to,
Well, you can translate it.
to English. It's weird. Like, I'm
Yeah.
here. It has not been translated to, but like my fellow who's in Fiverr, who's like, his dad was one of the people who disappeared during the dictatorship.
And you've never found again?
No, yeah, it's,
Oh,
I don't even think they found the remains. I haven't seen the movie because my dad just passed away, just too close to home. I'm like, I don't want to watch it. Yeah,
sorry.
but and 2 months? Yeah,
No, so sorry.
it's okay.
I went through this and
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard, but
it is really hard.
yeah, but it's a whole
But it's
generation.
still
Yeah,
with you, you know.
I know. Yeah, he was like Trotskyist atheist. I could should have said that in the radio. Now they're very
That's fine.
in the new regime. Like they're gonna go.
They'll come for me first.
The Trotskyist atheist. So, but I think he had enough experience with psychedelic drugs that when his consciousness goes into it's not gonna be a horrible surprise. It's not gonna be like, oh, the cherubims came in and like, oh no.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it's true.
No, yeah, completely different than anyone else.
No, yeah,
Yeah, because my heaven is definitely not anybody else.
right. Definitely not the cherub. Like, we've
Well,
read.
no, I wouldn't mind cherubim, but they'd have one big eye. And that would be, I would like that.
And you wouldn't have to play a harp all the time? You might play.
Unlike, I mean.
You're thinking about it now,
if it
aren't you?
shot lasers and.
Oh, well, okay.
Maybe.
I'm just thinking, Mark Twain wrote a thing on heaven where, first of all, it was like Earth, but like 1,000 times bigger, because if it has to have everybody that's ever lived before, and they're supposed to all have their space, it's gotta be way bigger.
Yeah.
That's what my dad used to say, like, what's the code?
Right.
What is it?
Right, but every and like people are the only people that have the harps and whatnot are those that like thought that they wanted that, and like everybody else is going,
Wow.
that looks really good. Just sitting on it while I play here all the time.
Yeah. That's a weird. word.
Well, because that was the prevailing version of heaven in
Who sells us these ideas?
1860s America.
This is total shit.
I know, yeah. I want to say
Puritans.
something, I just want to tell to the book club participants that if you, because I know you did, I don't know if you ate before, like, just like 6 to 8, but like.
I have some bagels over there.
Oh my God. And you don't even plasma today, too. Yeah.
She donated plasma and she read to orphans and she adopted a cat.
The bagels made by people. You know.
They were the
Bagels. Okay.
You
I love that, though, that you do all that. Really cool. And Milwaukee is a place that really lends itself to homegrown grassroots concern for others. I've seen it so much here. And I'm afraid it's dead. A lot of it's dead in other places.
Yeah, it was the place that was. affiliated with 7 churches, but everybody that works for is atheist.
Really? Okay, really? Because you want to know what? I mean, if you're doing that, I think if there is a God, that God is saying, all right, you're in the club. I mean, how can you be in the club? You're in club humanity. You're doing things so that people can live. This has to be
that again with the invisible world. That's what I talking to my sister about this stuff. I was like, the invisible world doesn't stop existing just because I don't believe in it. You don't know. I
had this experience where I'm sorry, you can say something. And you never talk, so finish.
You tell us.
No, there's silence now.
No, I'm just gonna agree, just because.
And that would sound like?
Yeah.
Okay. I decided.
No, it is.
All right, well, all I was gonna say to you, I forget now completely. No, I was gonna tell you that is so true. Because I went to Quebec and I stayed in this church that was converted into a library. And it was so damn haunted. And I was there completely alone. And after I got there and I got on stage with a Canadian broadcasting company, and they were talking about, and this is the CBC, they were the major broadcasting. This was the major reporter of the art reporter.
So way bigger than me.
Oh, stop. These people were,
Hi, Mom.
they had Oakley hats that were gigantic. They were so Canadian. No, they weren't really. They were from Quebec, so they were French. And they have that anxiety.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Well, no, they think they're Canadian now.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how being told that you're supposed to be the 51st state in the United States.
maybe it didn't. But what do you like doing? Place that's so haunted. Now, nobody else has told me this. This is the first time, except that I've been in the place and it's so haunted. Because I'm like sitting there on the couch watching a door open, close,
Oh, my God.
it's closed, and I'm watching a chair move, on the floor. I'm watching all this stuff happen. Well, I didn't mention, I'm saving that for the story I wrote about this, but it's even super scarier than that. He knows what it was. It's so scary that when I tell people, they go, I don't want to have heard that.
You should come hang out in nursing home.
Oh, are they super haunted?
With the hill just dinner?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, it was going to nursing homes that told me a lot about haunted. Because there were a lot of people dying in Aldrich Park, and a lot of the nursing homes were Jewish. And I would go and talk to people. And it started with us as a class singing, Christmas carols in a number of the nursing homes. And then I went back and people told me things.
Oh, yeah.
They at the end of their life, they were confiding me things that they would make.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, at the end of their life, they just are happy.
And they don't tell their kids.
Well,
Right.
they don't want to upset their kids.
Right.
They don't want to upset their kids.
So they leave it with somebody that they don't know at all.
But I mean, I've worked dementia units
Oh.
for a decade. And when you live with a bunch of old people, when there's a young person that's willing to listen, they're gold.
I know. I have been.
They get bottled. They get bottled. I mean, all of the staff was fun. For that matter, any young person who walked in who wasn't immediately, oh, that's so-and-so's grandkid, was going to get bottled.
That's so interesting.
Well, because
Yeah.
I mean, I initially ran activities, and one of the things that I had to fight for was just to run conversations or read aloud or whatnot, because you got to be doing crafts or you got to be playing bingo. And I'm sitting there going, were they doing crafts when they were 50? Were they playing bingo when they were 50?
Right.
Why do you think they want to do that when they're 80?
Right. Why did the pop-up
I mean, I'm not saying we can't have any of that stuff, but I don't think most of them want to do crafts 5 times a week.
Well, they forced them to go.
Well, they didn't when I ran them.
Old Jews are
Anyway, they didn't when I ran them, but I had to
active senior.
fight with my managers. So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of lines when you get in nursing homes.
That's interesting.
But I do have a question going back a little bit. Could
What,
you-
the book?
Yeah, well, to the book. To the book.
So like, so happy we're not just talking about the book, that we're talking about each other.
No, this is
About it.
this is totally how my podcast works anyway. We talk about everything, so I'm not upset. And this is only tangentially about the book, actually,
Okay, good.
because you told Chris that she should make a comic about, well,
Herself.
and specifically herself in Brazil. And you definitely put parts of your life in this, but I've also heard you talk about how you're not Karen.
She's in me. I mean, she's
Well,
like,
no,
if
I
I'm
get
the
that.
haunted
I
house,
get that.
She's in a room.
Right,
Well,
right.
she'd take
But where I'm going is, and this is a question I've had on and off the air with a lot of creators, you know. It's not like writing prose or even making a movie. If you are doing a painful piece of your life, you're going to spend hours a day, every day documenting that because that's how long it takes to make. I mean, I have friends in the business that absolutely, they don't understand how people do autobiographies because they're sitting there going, I couldn't, you know, I try to slip this in here, I try to slip this in there. Somebody else wants to tell my story. I'll say it into a typewriter or into a tape recorder like Anka, and they can draw it. But I don't want to see.
Spend so much money.
I don't want to. And you talked about being depressed. So, I mean, how do you balance taking these important things from your life and putting them into the work with getting out of bed in the morning and wanting to move forward?
I think there's a remove, you know, because when you create Karen, and she would say she's always been there, like God. But when you have her, and you know, it's like the actor to, you know, portray someone. You have a remove. You might be living in a real way in the moment. You might have real emotions. You might have real memories. And I definitely have put a lot of my actual life into the book. In various ways, I've shielded people by not having them be the same people that they were in my actual life than they are in the book, because I didn't really want to out them.
Right.
And some of them told me things they didn't really want to be public about. They didn't want those things to be associated with them. And others are just simply people who I care enough about that I don't want somebody for the rest of their life to be saying, oh, you're the, you know, like, well, really, that's like the worst experience. Nobody deserves that.
Right.
So I put the truth in, and it, I studied with somebody, Paul McThomas, and he led a writing group. It was a great experience. And one of the things he said is, these things never happen, but the story is true. So, but unfortunately, fortunately, unfortunately, a lot of these things did happen. Just in different ways.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Dees is the most real person in my world in some ways, or the most real person in Dan's world. I know Dees. I've known Dees. I adore Dees. He is definitely not a good guy, and he's the greatest guy in the world. And you know, like he's both. And so there you go. And if I smoked, I'd want to stay away right now. Which I don't smoke.
I understand.
Because even talking about that, it's so hard. But
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I'll try to come up with another happy question in a second.
No, I don't like
Talk
happy
amongst yourselves.
questions. No, we don't need.
Well, I didn't mean a happy question. I meant a more uplifting question.
Oh, yeah. Like when we were talking about, yeah, well, we were just noticing the whole situation at the diner where you know, the brain clearly has like a history with his cousin Dante, the cook at the diner, it seems.
Yeah, to let him around just like.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, but then she hangs out with them quite a bit later, and I had forgotten about that till we looked at it again this time, and I was like, oh wait, someone's kind of forecasting that he's maybe a creep of some kind, but I couldn't tell if it was because of, you know, his political beliefs or something else. I don't know. if you want to share
It's
anything about that.
there was, we were rewatching White Lotus, which I
Yeah,
very
sorry.
well. We were watching the second season, and I realized that at one point, not believer, but there's couple, the two couples,
Hmm.
and one of them has very likely, definitely has cheated on
Yeah.
the other, and she's the husband of the woman, Aubrey Plaza. Her husband, and I don't know that actor's name, he does a great job, really good. And he says, I think something happened between my wife and your husband, and she says, you have to work as hard as you can. It's like not to be a victim.
Mhm.
I love that line. But there's something that she does before that I thought was related to what you're talking about. And that's when she says, "Oh, I have this trainer and he's got this beautiful blonde hair, blue eyes. Would you like to see a picture of him?" And she shows a picture of her child. And that's how you know that she has settled the score with her husband.
Right.
Because that is not. And I didn't catch it the first time that I thought, neither of us did. They were like, "Oh shit,
We with an art.
yeah, we're doing our art." So we don't really look,
Yeah.
so they could have shown it.
Listening rather.
We're listening.
I do that.
Yeah, yeah. But that moment,
Generally, because I'm reading your art rather than.
exactly. That's right. That's right. But so what I'm saying to you is that's left there. There are a lot of other things that are appearances. I'll tell you about that later, but you're left not knowing something.
Yeah.
And I want that. In
Yes,
that moment.
yes.
It's intentional, and there will be more about that. And
Yeah.
definitely, the brain is really complex.
Yeah.
He's super complex.
Right.
He's
You have
gonna,
a storyline of who's been killed.
oh yeah, and he's super complex.
I was just saying too
You're the
that
spoiler guy. You're the Tom Holland here. That's a big, you need me to edit stuff, let me know, Tyler will.
I was gonna say, when people say you know too much, it's always.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I was just gonna say I'm in the first book he came across this way. It's like he's a leftist, I mean, not exactly, like he's kind of more fringe, he's very fringe.
He's like, he really is looking at the sky for aliens.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah,
He would be a leftist if he had to choose. If a gun was
Right.
to his head, he'd be a leftist.
right.
But he's really, if he doesn't have to choose, he'd be like an Afrocentric galactic librarian.
Yeah. Oh
You know
wow,
what I mean?
good.
Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good job.
Yeah.
I know.
Also a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The Afrocentric galactic librarian.
Yeah.
I like
Very
that.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
a month.
Chris, do you need a new band name?
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Music here too.
Oh, no.
I didn't mean to leave on the phone call.
Oh, okay.
What a tentative concept.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not
That's-
supposed to know anything. I do have my band called Spydora, and it maybe this is actually like the carnival references. It was the Spider Woman in the carnival was called Spydora. It was the head of a beautiful woman with the body of a spider.
I love it. I actually have a character like that.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you the one. I'll give you my.
Yeah.
So if you have a discarded page, just bring it here, go put it on the.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, if you try your name, I'll put it in the wall. You're kidding?
Go get a napkin right now.
Can I ask more questions? But I'll be sad if I didn't ask because
Oh, I think it could be better. Because
um,
those questions will hang.
right.
We'll know about them.
Do you draw on line paper?
I have and do. And I started that way. I actually started the book showing on paper. And very quickly it became clear to me that I would never be able to edit anything
Yeah.
ever because the lines would make that almost impossible.
Right.
So I stopped,
Mm.
which was painful because the experience of drawing on line paper is part of the joy of it. Because it really, the pen is different on really good line paper too. It's a really smooth and it absorbs, it saturates very quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas when you work on virtual board, you have to work like crazy to get it to
Right.
saturate. So it's more time consuming to not do it. A couple of things that are great about it though, and that was when they went to translate it, it was possible, which it really would not have been on line paper. It would have been really remarkably difficult. It'd have been a cut and paste nightmare. And then French also, a lot of times they have to extend the balloons because they have 25% more words.
Yeah.
And they're so cool about it because they're like, it takes more words to get this across, so we'll use more words. And they're beautiful, perfect words. I wish I could speak French. I can amuse them. I'm trying to work on just saying one French phrase for the Ferris book there. And they'll get very excited about it and they'll say, and there's more, and there will be nothing more. And then I might even screw up because it took me like 3 hours in doing a Zoom. Do you remember where I just worked? I was working with like, I don't know. Anyway, that's aside from the point that you bring up, which was that I don't work on line paper.
Okay.
But I do. Because I displayed some line paper at the Society of Illustrators.
Oh, cool.
I displayed pages that were done there for a piece that was kind of a small piece. And everything was right on the line paper, which I actually love. And I've been thinking about doing this subversive thing, which is where I do actual lined paper books and I put them in an envelope and mail them to somebody to read, and nobody else gets to read them.
One of one, yeah.
And then they send it to somebody else.
Oh, cool.
And then then the robots kill me. They don't kill. They don't kill me. And that's what happened.
Not by a drone.
It's a big no. And then that's the end. That's the last thing I see, which we don't want. So I probably will not do that. Just to assure you.
That does remind me of something that Raw did at the end of this run. Called
The
narrative corpse.
Yeah, they did.
There's now an infinite corpse online. You should totally do 3 panels for that.
Oh, really?
Anybody can do it. You
Okay.
can- but what it was, and both the Hernandez brothers were part of it. Bob Sikoriak was part of it.
It's like this big.
I think it was 64 different. Yeah, I've got a copy. I have it too. Yeah. But it was
Comic people going.
yeah. Each person got three panels. And only the next person got to see the 3 panels.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did 3 panels from that.
Yeah.
And the next person only got to see their 3 panels.
They had a very
And so on.
interesting device that they almost like a
Skeleton.
man,
Right.
that your story, that character had to keep doing stuff.
Right.
You know, so it wasn't like the story didn't like, so you had a unifying thing that all of them do the same very simple stick man in different, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It was
And
really,
now there's an online version called the Infinite Corpse.
that is the one.
It's the Infinite Corpse. Yeah, there's like 400 some odd people that contributed to it.
That's
Including
amazing.
like half the people that did the original version. I'll send you a link.
Well, I like it.
It's, you can fall down a rabbit hole, because at this point it's gotten so big that half the time you've got like, it's not only the narrative corpse, but it's the narrative choose your own adventure. It's like, read
Oh,
this. Do you want to
yeah.
read the next panels from Dan Klaus or from
Oh, wow.
or from Craig Thompson? Okay, you read this. Do you want to read the next panels from?
That's amazing.
That's the kind of web.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's part of what's going on right now. Like, you know, like people, are you on Blue Sky? The Blue
I
Sky,
think I made an account and then forgot it.
it doesn't have ads.
Right.
And it's disconcerting to be on an internet that doesn't suggest to you something that you don't want to see.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you define ads, because you put up, hey, come to Lions Tooth.
Right.
But it's the Lions Tooth account that puts that up, and it only goes to the people who are following Lions Tooth,
Yeah,
or the
no
people who
It makes it
click the.
I like that.
It's
Yeah.
really not, you can make, like, you can choose, like, I just want to see people I follow, or it can be like people, you know, it's kind of like the beginning of the social.
Yeah, it's become the
network,
only
or
social
like
media that I
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
Really?
I sometimes kind of look at Instagram, but since they got Since they decided they were getting rid of all fact checking at Meta, I'm like,
No, and it's just like, I just, the ad really bothered me.
Yeah, I don't like the ads
It knows
either.
that I have a puppy, and then now it's like all these puppy things. And then it knows that,
what's
Is it
really
like-
annoying is when you say something out loud and then you have an ad for it and you're like, how did that happen?
Right.
I know.
I'm not even near my own phone. How did that happen?
But it's even more disturbing when you think it and then you have an.
Yeah, it's like, how well do you know me? Let me give you my money.
Right. But also synchronicity, right? Too. But I don't like it. I don't like it. But I did have like,
But at the same time, I mean, what I love about social media is that it's a place for the smaller cartoonists, the smaller
Right.
bookstores, whatever, to be able to reach an
Yeah.
audience that they might not have been able to.
No, and then you have real conversations,
Right.
like you can say, hey, you, not,
Right.
like, I don't know, like in some places, Joe 7698,
right,
Right.
like Joe
exactly.
7698 could actually
Yeah.
be the CIA.
Yeah.
Well, and
That's
what if it's
kind of
Joseph?
like make you very easy to verify yourself.
I mean,
So you can verify if you have like Line Two has a website, it's verified.
Right.
So, the
you
same
mean
way
you
you
don't
know
have to pay
domain.
for it? How do they make money?
I know.
Well, then you will have to. I mean, it's clearly incoming.
Yeah, that's the.
So I think it's still
the
open source,
certification
so.
Of everything, and then the certification of website, that they start squeezing the user. Then you fall for it.
There
then
is
they-
our proof
Yeah.
that we are recording in person. That was a passing truck.
With, I think, a speaker,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so,
It's,
yeah,
it's a blessing.
it is.
Don't you all?
It is. If you're going to Brazil, you're gonna see that. You're going
I
to
know.
beer beach. Somebody has a speaker on the back of their car,
Oh, yeah.
and then they open the speaker, and then there's a war with another speaker,
Yeah.
right? So I
Sounds
went,
like New Mexico.
it does, okay, yeah.
Okay, it is
So,
really.
I mean, I went to this hotel.
Sounds like my house sometimes.
Yeah. It's a tiny hotel in a tiny city, and we get there because it's gonna be so quiet, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have like, and then you see like this thing, there was a convention of
Oh,
people who
no.
sell those things.
No, no. No.
Like,
Actually,
oh, boy, I know it's pretty funny because it was like,
Hey, we have kids that listen.
yeah,
that is, I like that. I mean, that should be in a Bill Murray movie.
I know.
Because it really feels like Bill Murray would be in that movie where they're
In
in the
He
convention.
would be the
In
salesman.
drugstore, my boy, he goes to a hotel when there's a convention of cops.
Is that really? Oh, yeah. That one.
So this is like the sound system version
Yeah.
of that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna be good.
I have another question.
Sure.
Please.
They keep us on time.
I love the covers, the comics covers in here. They're so amazing. And at first we were, talking about it and was like, maybe these are real covers. And then it's like, no, it's not, which is even more astounding that, that you just had to create these. But when Karen is drawing in her notebook, they're always on the left side of the page. Does she stop and draw a cover from time to time, or are they already in the notebook and she's filling in a notebook where she does her cover drawings? That's a really specific question, but
She's got a second. And
Right.
she just picks them and begin to realize that she's picking them to a kind of frequency resonance with what she's dealing with.
Mhm.
And she feels like, well, and I mean, in my perfect world, I would live like 1 block from the Louvre and be able to sit in
Yeah.
an apartment that allowed smoking. And in this having a world, I could smoke and no damage to myself. And I could work on making all the comics
Mhm.
in black and white and ink
Yeah.
that I would love to make of all of those covers, because that would be the most awesome thing in the world for me.
Yeah.
But those stories I read as a kid and creepy and eerie and weird.
Yeah.
I still go back and read them.
Yeah, yeah.
Go through and read those. when I got money, the first time I got money, the stupidest thing I did, but the most true thing I did was go to eBay and literally buy every, because they were there.
They're still in boxes and,
In our studio, but I mean, there's just like every 1960, everything that was published in 1968, and all of it's
cool.
appreciated in value, like dramatic.
Yeah.
But I still go back and read those articles and fantastic. There's something very simplistic, and what's going to happen in the end, but it's satisfying.
I was gonna say, I mean, that always appealed to me, but the thing that appeals to me is the cover. Like the cover is a striking image, full color, and then you look inside and it never lives up to just that one image. Yeah, right. Like, so that's, you kind of just take the best parts of all of those and just put the cover on.
Shocking to me when I went back and read them, how political they actually were. Like we were talking, and I
comics have always been political.
Yeah, and anything would go with the, transformation. I listen to it, and there's so much. I think I don't know. We're gonna have to ante up. We're going to have to make them ante up. The powers that be. Say, okay, you're going into your age where, we've been inducted into your age, but we want transformational powers. We want some more powers than we have. And so I think we're going to start working on that as witches, as spellcasting beings, powerful beings. I think we're going to have to work on some stuff because the life they want for us is, it's not enough. We're going to need to have some powers. I think we're already being told about that because of the Avengers. All of these guys, Suicide Squad, whatever. Everybody's telling us that powers are possible. I think that's the way of forecasting to us, and clearly we've begun right here.
I mean,
We've come together. We have certain powers. We don't know what's going to happen in the
we've
next
been
few
doing
minutes.
Powers since Wizard of Oz,
That's true.
1913.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Frankenstein.
Incredible imitation of the strong. Oh yeah, as he's being torn apart. Do you want to give us the? No, we don't.
I want to ask one of the broader questions, which is, you had a career before Hunters, and everybody knows, or most people know about West Nile, and that laid you up and kind of shifted your life. But why comics? What made you decide the next stage of my life is comics? What relationship did, I mean, clearly you had a relationship with eerie and creepy and whatnot. Did you maintain your relationship with comics the entire time? Did you find yourself going back to them?
You told me one time that you were a painter at the art institute. There was always words that were creeping to your paintings, and they hated them.
Oh, they
It was just like a natural thing.
They hated that so bad, and it was so funny because I was looking at Raymond Pettibone and going, but look, he's great, and they were like, no, it's terrible. We don't want to see. We don't want to read the words. We don't need. It's not narrative, and I was just, I was like, oh,
But that's not even true.
no,
How many of those paintings are incredibly narrative?
exactly. And then, even you look at Frida Kahlo's work, and it's very narrative. There's a lot of words in her work. She's using words all the time.
One of the first creative writing assignments I had, sophomore in high school, was Mr. Harris wrote about the branch of Christina's World.
Of who?
Christina's
Oh,
World?
yeah.
The Wyatt?
We just saw something. that looked
Write a story.
exactly- Yeah. Oh, that's very, that's very nice.
Write a story.
Why?
What's she doing there? Why?
Yeah, right.
And he didn't tell us the history, so we weren't allowed to know, she couldn't walk and that was just bark mouse. It goes that afterwards. It was, here's this painting that I bet none of you have ever seen because you're all 13-year-olds or whatever.
That's great. That somebody did that.
Write a story.
But your experience is very similar to Joe Coleman. When Joe Coleman went to school, it was all abstract. You couldn't even do figures in. you know, and his paintings had like all,
yeah.
but he was extremely successful. It was not, it wasn't abstract, it was conceptual.
Conceptual, that was it. It was the
Yeah.
tail end of that was there when I was there.
Yeah. So then the words kept creeping in.
No, I love some conceptual work a lot.
But then you had to like
Couldn't
liberate.
see you.
No, we do not.
Yeah,
I mean, even the camera is facing back.
yeah. I know, because I don't.
They can see me and the neon
I don't
sign.
offend anybody, but, you know.
Yeah.
But I.
You're allowed to thank people.
Like it wasn't allowed for
Yeah,
that kind of expression
Yeah.
at the time.
yeah, no, it's absolutely right. And even I was in school at I got a writing kind of deal going at the end there. Because I just couldn't leave, because I was like, I can't really imagine myself leaving. I would stay and get a writing degree. And there was actually non-narrative novels, which I think when your instructor tells you, now I'm going to prepare you that 15 minutes of reading this novel, I've never known anybody who has fallen asleep. I mean, that's just a sign that maybe non-narrative novels are not exactly good.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're bad, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe they're only good for insomnia. You know, I mean, and we shouldn't have them.
I mean, like it's just the truth.
I mean, I'm just a guy that likes.
It's
all
a
sorts of
very
things
slow
that other
bird.
people don't like,
It's like
so.
7 pages looking at the ceiling.
I think it was a book that was about a detective who kind of walks the city. And I think that was the book. You know what I'm talking about? It seems.
Is this Celine? Like Journey to the End of the Night or something like that?
No, I don't think that was the book. But anyway, but I know what you're talking about. It was,
Oh, Oscar,
might
City
be.
of Glass.
Yes, it might be. It might be.
That's smile.
Oh, I love City of Glass,
Right?
and I like the Mazzucchelli comic even more.
Really?
And for that matter,
I never
Paul-
knew
Paul-
Mazzucchelli did that.
yeah, Mazzucchelli
Yeah.
did.
Is he walks the city and just describes the city?
There's a lot of that in that, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's very quixotic. In
maybe.
fact, sometimes very
I'm so glad you
explicitly
liked
so. It's weird. I mean, it's absolutely something that I don't think is for every taste, and I have trouble explaining why I liked it.
Yeah.
But we did do a podcast about it, so you can go back and listen to Mark Proud and I talk about City of Glass, and
I'm sure I would like it as a graphic novel.
yeah, well,
Right,
particularly because
right.
Mazzucchelli
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I love that.
So, but then you do your thing. Like going back to the journey, because I do want to hear how you chose comics. And you know what I mean? Like, so the genesis of it. So you're going to art school, you're putting words there, not allowed.
Well, I mean, you know, they couldn't exactly not allow you, but they use words like trope, and you know, they frown and they scrutinize it with a look like they've just smelled a really bad cheese.
Plebeian.
You know,
It's plebeian.
yeah. It's
Pastoral.
somebody will be inspired by this somewhere. Of course, they're idiots.
I mean,
That was
these are the same people that and I always forget. These are the same people that didn't like Jack Kirby until Roy Lichtenstein.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Actually, the person who was the most viscerally critical of the work, I can't mention their name and I won't, but no, I can't even tell you anything more than that because they will know them. They will know who they are.
No.
Oh, no.
are they a comics person? Because if they're not a comics person, then they won't ever hear this.
That's true.
I mean, again, hi, Mom, hi, Britt, hi, Adam, hi, John. That's possibly everybody listening.
Okay.
I won't guarantee it, but
That's good.
It's in my
But,
feed.
yeah.
oh, that's right. Riley just told me that he's a
That's
subscriber.
right.
So, but yeah, but you know, there's always going to be that. And I heard today.
Because
Yeah.
there were a couple of times when we went away from it. Like my favorite thing is Master started out at the stage. When you switch to writing. And then when you got there, that blocked off, you weren't you weren't able to be you wanted to be illustrated. You kind of.
Well, it was illustrating.
Yeah. You were
And then I
illustrating,
lost it a little
you
bit.
were trying to learn how to use computers.
Yeah.
But you
And then I
couldn't do
lost
that.
all that.
And then
Yeah,
you're kind of, you kind of fell back into.
yeah, I was lucky. I got, Toby Devin Lewis is it's an endowment for $10,000 that I won when I left school.
Hmm.
And really, it was great because I couldn't figure out what the heck I was going to be doing other than maybe applying to work for an ad agency. And, you know, I hadn't seen Mad Men yet. I don't think it's out there. To make it glamorous. I would have done that and been fun. And been but I don't think I think I would not have gone. Although I could have that really subversive childhood that would at some point come out. Yeah, I would say it. And well, we're trying to sell Hershey bars. Yeah. Do for Hershey bars anyway. No. But you know, yeah. Right. But yeah, it's just like I got that money. And that money was just like I'd never had that much money in my whole life. I just stopped and I looked at that money and I talked to my daughter who was like 11 years old and said, "What do I do?" And she's kind of like, she's so smart. She goes, "It's kind of obvious." You know, 11-year-olds can say that too. She's super precocious and
So it wasn't kind of obvious you buy gumballs. Because I know some 11-year-olds that would.
no, but I'm crazy. So what I subjected her to was one full day where I wrote all the possible things I could do on tiny pieces of paper. I folded them up and I put them under glasses and I put them all over the house. And I asked her a series of 20 times. This is like why she might hate me now. to pick 3 in successive order, and then I would log in a book for this purpose what it was, and the voting came out this way. It came out graphic novel, and then there was something else, and I think it was either puppeteer, which is another thing I love. I love puppetry so much. It's
Okay.
insane. And then
I mean, you've got
Yeah.
the puppet.
I know, and there's more puppetry to come.
Okay.
So much more. And
You were asking about merch. That's legit merch.
puppetry.
No, make the puppets for people to buy.
Yeah.
We make the puppets of the monsters.
That, yeah.
For that matter, they don't even have to be like the fancy puppets of the monsters. If you made a Karen hand puppet,
Mhm.
people would buy that.
Yeah.
Lots of them,
Yeah.
at least at cons and stuff.
Yeah.
For that matter, I'm certain that they would give them a table here.
I would find
They'd be like, "Yes, please, I'll take them on commission."
And Tokyo Pop sometimes partner.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. There's 2 places. There's a place that makes a very expensive cloud managers, a cloud manager
Yeah.
company, Nine Cloud, I don't know. They make very expensive versions. They work with the artist for a long time. They worked with, what is the name of the guy? Dave Cooper. They're doing like a thing with him, like, you know, and those pieces are like 200 pieces, but they cost like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Tokyo Pop did, Daniel, I don't know if it's Tokyo Pop today, but it's like Daniel Cloud's, figurines and
Like
they
a
do-
Ghost World.
they're like a
Art and
Japanese.
flowers figurine.
Yeah, they do like, there's the Enid,
I-
there's like black and white Enid, and there's like the ray gun, and they do both of these that I know of very seriously.
Okay.
And I'm sure that anything that, and the artist has a hand in it.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, but it
All right.
came out, no, I
We
know. I
call
like
them
it.
action figures, not dolls.
Action figures.
Yeah, they're like fancy toys for comics.
I love that.
Yeah. Press pop. Yes, pop. Thank you.
That's good to know.
They're in Tokyo Pop.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know, they're Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see.
Yeah.
They do,
Very cool.
so they did like a doll that was like stone, like these guys are like, they did versions in black and white to show around. Like, and they have like a doll that is like a piece of cloth.
Oh,
You know,
that's cool.
and then they do those also.
Oh,
They
look
have
at that. That's an.
they
that
used
is
to
an
have
image.
in it, and then they have little in it,
I
and
love
then they
that.
have little in it in black and white.
I love
You
that.
know, like little series of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
So when it was down to 3, how did you narrow it down again?
It was my daughter once again, and I.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think I should do? And she said, well, you should do a graphic novel. And then I said, well, I had all these different possible things. And she very, she's really rational and I don't know where she came from. Smart and stuff and responsible and normal, in a really good way. Like she said, Mom, it's just actor dog, okay? Stop crying. You know what I mean? It's like if a dog died in the show. I'd be crying and she'd be like, it's an actor dog.
No, John Wick is going to kill everybody because of
Yeah.
it. So you'll be okay.
She even does previews on movies now. She'll call me and she'll go, I think you should see this movie, but at this point in the movie, close your eyes.
That's scary.
Somebody's gonna take a dog. You're gonna get
Yeah, my wife still won't watch John Wick because the
Yeah.
dog dies at the beginning.
Yeah, that's
And I'm like, but the whole movie is him avenging the dog.
but no. But I gotta go get mine.
I
Probably
do,
have kids to get.
I do want to say one thing about the journey from the art world to comics. One of the things that happens with very talented people like you
Oh,
that
thank
we
you.
see over and over again that I'm alternative and doing something that is not mainstream is being poached by the fine arts world. So Julie Doucet, for instance, she was doing comics, and comics was so unrewarding financially and such a boys club that she was happier doing fine arts for many years. You know what I mean? Like, so it's very heartwarming for me that there's an avenue that this can be a living, like for an artist in a way that that
Too, and I'm really lucky.
Yeah,
Because the story matters so much to me. I want the story to be a part of things, and I love the fine art world. I paint, like I said.
yeah. And you have your originals, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I still they get sold.
and that's what Heinemann says is like it's your retirement set.
Yeah,
Is the origin.
yeah.
Like so many like I draw in the
You have to show me your drawings.
no.
She's got comics, but
You have
I
comics?
don't have one here, but
No.
You don't have one here?
I don't because I didn't
you sold out?
I sold down.
Well,
Right.
that's
Can I
good.
say,
I
can I brag
That's
out
good.
about you? Oh, Ebony of Chris and stuff, and they were sold out there too. So
I gave them a bunch because I like that. but with the hello, just now. But like it's one of those things, like all of the original stuff, like people who drop all of their original things, like I draw in the computer and I don't have that other thing that is another source of income maybe in the future. You know what I mean? Like
See what
that
you're
art.
It's what
Yeah.
it's what Tab was saying. He understood that that dilemma.
No, it's primarily digitally, but he does really rough pencil sketches first. And if a page winds up being really awesome and he thinks it'll sell well, he goes back and finishes and does tighter pencils because you only sell the pencils anyway. Sometimes the pencils in the ink, but particularly in digital inking world, you're only selling the pencils anyway. So so maybe only 1 page out of 5 or even 1 page out of 10 is one. But if he goes, oh my God, this page is amazing. I know somebody will pay $1,000 for it. He'll go tighten up the pencils
But
to make them look
Yeah.
like the full
But
page.
Alex Graham is doing painting.
I was talking Alex Cormack though, not Alex.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like, and Alex Graham, like she said, 2 people, she put it like online on a post more comic people should be painting. Because as you get your reputation from your comic, your paintings, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
and it was one of the things that she posted. Like, so I see people trying to find different solutions.
Right,
And you know, like, and trying to find like, or maybe draw simpler
right.
and have a version of my work that is simpler. And there's all kinds of like avenues that people take, you know. But you know, you need to just work on the
Yeah,
story. That's
want
what
to
I
do more
want.
story.
Yeah,
Can I sign your books for you?
yeah.
All right, but before we do that, I have a final question that's for the room now,
Okay.
because it's my
Can I start
required
signing?
one. Sure,
Okay.
sure, just so long as you also answer the question. Tell me a book or a piece of media, preferably a comic. I know you're new to comics, so if you want to give me something else, that's fine. That you love, but not enough other people have read or experienced, and you need them to because you want more people to talk to about it. And you got to remind me your name because I don't have it down.
I gotta think about it.
That's true.
I mean, I know what my name is. but-
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I was going to let you think about that too.
For me, it's very simple. Why don't you love me? And I think
Mine's
I
up
probably
there.
said that.
These are, I
before.
don't know who's these.
Everybody needs to read Why Don't You Love Me by Paul Rainey, British cartoonist.
Oh.
It reminded me of what comics can be in a huge way. It's just that is like I think it came out like I think it was in the list of the best of 2023.
Who put it in?
It's Penograph.
It is?
No, it is Ron Quarter.
John Porter.
And it's like the cover does not.
I think I just saw it over there, isn't that?
Yeah, we have it here. Yeah,
Right
it
back.
is. It is just.
Oh, that's
I
beautiful.
and it's all written like a comic strip. So you think I can't even say anything about this book because I will spoil it.
Okay.
You read it, right?
I haven't yet. I haven't.
You need like and it
I
didn't-
haven't.
it
It's
didn't-
on my stack.
Yeah, it
People
didn't
can't
get-
see, but they know me well enough to know that my stack is taller than me.
It didn't get in it, and it has like it's a critique of our world, and it has a positive message that is very hidden there. It's just yeah, it's mind blowing. That's my suggestion.
Thank you. No.
I just read a book called Spaniel Rage by Vanessa Davis.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great.
I don't know if it's underappreciated, but I really enjoyed
Which
it.
was that?
It's called Spaniel Rage.
Spaniel Rage?
Yeah, she's
I know
great.
Vanessa Davis.
It's a
but I haven't
cool,
read that.
it's a cool diary. She does really amazing art, I thought too. And
Yeah.
they're just, it's a real diary, but it's interesting to look at like what she selects from each day. Like it's not a play by play. It's kind of like one image from a day. And it's inspiring and it's a really good example of it.
Yeah. She has another book out there. I think the one where she travels by bike.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't read
yeah.
anything else about
Yeah.
that.
You need to read that.
Okay, I
It's
will.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice signing book.
Yeah.
Can I say that Jen just told us today that she goes to 5 to 8 book clubs every month? So she definitely should have some recommendations.
Almost that many on the podcast now.
I'm gonna bring
Addiction.
this is for Riley.
Okay,
Did you-
Riley, I
yeah.
got-
Yes. thank you.
And these are just for the store, but you don't have to say
I don't
that.
mind that.
No, that's
And are you RILE, right?
I am.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I would say, if I was gonna answer your question, Jerusalem, that one,
Oh,
I never read that one.
yeah.
we listened to. We got, what do they call that early version?
Oh, readers
No,
copy.
like I
Yeah.
said, yeah.
And we started reading it and then we listened to things while we did.
Mm.
It was really-
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's
I,
amazing.
I need to find the time to finish that. I started it on a road trip and found myself getting lost enough that I'm like, okay, I need to come back to this in a different headspace where I'm paying better attention. Because as with all things Alan Moore, he's anything but simple.
Yeah. What is it that you do, Riley?
I'm a teacher. I teach an NPS on the north side.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm the director of something called the Genius Science Lab. So it's just fun, hands-on, like science stuff for kids, basically.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Really detailed.
I know. When we were teaching online during the pandemic, it was like a TV show. In fact, I had to be more entertaining than what kids could be doing instead of listening to me, you know. So I really had to like be alone in my house.
That's
trying to make
that's
as
what
much
my wife had to, to put together art tutorial for her class.
Oh wow, yeah. I
That
can't imagine.
that wound up also being the art tutorials for like all of our friends and family who had kids. They're like, ooh, this is something that the kids can do at home. You don't mind if we're using your class stuff, do you? Jen, Emil.
I'm caving under the pressure.
Don't keep these too much for people.
Yeah.
You can give me more than one.
So I think I recommended last time the book The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating.
Well, that sounds very exciting.
Which, and the reason I brought it up was because I hadn't known about your history with West Nile and how the Monsters Head came out of that. And that book is about a woman, I think she was a journalist, I don't remember it super well, but she came down with, I don't know if it was West Nile or, but it was, something really debilitating, and she was literally like bedbound.
Yeah.
And a friend just like slaughter a snail, and she's like, it's amazing what you can watch and hear and learn from us snail. And it was just a really like interesting and kind of beautiful little like perspective that especially in our super frantic world we don't really get.
Slow it down can be nice. Yeah. All of these things that I didn't know before.
Slow down, not by choice, but yeah. Sounds like it. That's the
Library, that's what I
But
thought.
that's cool. I said that.
I mean,
it's
I don't know. It was still about.
No, anybody would know.
Yeah, I guarantee
This
they
is my
wouldn't notice it when you
copy.
brought it back, but it might mean that it never
You can see how different.
came back to the library after whoever checked it out next.
And you're a. Yeah. That's more important for me than that one, like in terms of signing, because that one has been with me for so long. I'm not gonna make you sign twice. This one, they're always gonna be to the end.
It's
Never, oh, just to say, never on eBay.
Oh yeah.
That was like, there's a whole thing with cartoonists going online where like they sign something at a convention and it turns out on eBay.
It's one of the reasons I always tell the cartoonists to make it out to me.
Right.
Because that's
yeah.
like my lowdown way of saying, hey, this is for me.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
You need to see a driver's license, I'll give it to you. Also, TAD is just, you don't make it out to TAD to then sell it. There's not enough TAD. If you made it out to Mike,
Yeah.
maybe there'd be a market for it.
I have a wonderful thing that I interviewed Chris for many years ago, and he really wanted me to become aware of, oh my God, I forgot his name, like that's how I don't know, I'll remember his name, but he really wanted me to become aware of this guy who was a cartoonist that was underappreciated, that I'll remember the name is Ben Katcher. So he was like,
Yeah.
you really got to become more like, how are you interviewing all these people when you don't know interviewing Ben Katcher? Like so he gave me a Ben Katcher book to take home because he's like, but it had Chris Ware's dedication to somebody else that he was trying to brainwash on Ben Katcher before me. I want that book, obviously.
And we won't name stuff
And these
because
are all
it was a famous comic shop and a relatively famous friend of mine, but I was in a comic shop and picked up one of my friend's books and opened it up, and it was made out to somebody with his signature in it on sale.
Okay, I have the best story with this. My mom, so I edited the compilation of American comic in Brazil, and I gave a copy to my mom as the editor, and then my mom gave it back to me. So I have a copy of my whole book with like 4 months It would never be
Yeah.
possible without you, blah, 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 in my house. I know.
I didn't I
But
show you
yes, you've heard
guys?
a lot, enough about it.
I got a copy of the British version of Heartbreak Suite, signed and numbered by Gilbert at a used bookstore in Chicago for $8
No.
because they didn't know it was signed and numbered. It was just on the shelf.
Which used bookstore was it?
That was myopic.
Oh, my office, yeah.
Mhm.
With that.
Yeah. But you still haven't given us your recommendation.
Oh, about something to,
Something that to read, watch, listen to. Again, preferably a comic, but I'll take whatever.
well, I would
Well-
concur with Kurt about Brutisman by all means. But, something, that I would,
More people need to be able to talk to you about. You don't have enough people to go out. I love this. Let's talk about it. And they're like, read it.
what the bad thing about what happens when I'm on deadline and when I'm working on books and I just, I basically finished book 2 and then I started working on, to finish the Pantheon books. But I can't read while I'm doing, I can.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to be new.
yeah, I'm trying to think of something.
What'd you read on your last vacation? I know you're a cartoonist. Vacation isn't part of your motivation. Let's say, I remember when you were with a group on John Sundry's and you came up with something for him.
Did I?
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry, Tom.
it was actually surprising to me. I think you told him that you were reading, was it X Factor? Or not X Factor, Peter Milligan and Mike Allred's.
Yeah, because I got it from the Olympic comic shop.
Yeah,
He sent it to me.
yeah,
My friend over there, and I did read that, and it was great.
it is great.
I mean,
But so, I mean,
yeah, there you
you
go.
gave John the completely out of nowhere thing, and you got nothing for me?
No.
Before we just devolve into whatever, I'm going to quickly say for 22 panels, this has been Emil Ferris and the Lions Tooth monthly book club.
But wait, are we gonna howl?
No, I don't know.
Well, I think you are.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't use his name, but I once had a student that I took to the library because I was doing an evening thing with him. And as we were leaving the library, he said, Mr. E, should I howl at the moon?
I love that question.
And I said, I don't know, do you want to? And he went, oh.
There you go. There we go.
Hmm.
Well, Chris, she has the howl. Do you want to?
Yeah, ready.
It's all
Together.
Ready?
Yeah. Yay.
This has been 22 panels. We'll see you after the next page.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.